She's a diamond. She's a diamond girl. She's a diamond. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Hi YouTube, it's Princess Diamond. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, I'm working with Eayon Hair today to do some beautiful boho knotless braids using all human hair. So no synthetic braiding hair is being used for this style. I did receive 4 packs of their deep wave human hair. Each pack is 20 inches long. I did only end up using 3 full packs for this style. The hair is really full. It comes 100 grams in each bundle or each pack, so you don't really think you're getting a lot of hair, but you actually are. There's no weft on this hair, so it's already cut out for you. You don't have to worry about cutting it. Now I'm just going to get into how I did the braids, the knotless braids part. So like I said before, we're not using any braiding hair, so I am starting these out with using the human hair, and I'm just starting it out with doing regular knotless box braids. I do add in 5 strands just to get the base of the braid. First, you have blunt ends for these, so you want to make sure that each strand is at least thick enough and enough to be able to braid it all the way far down before you start adding in your pieces that's going to be left out. So now I have my 5 strands added in. I'm going to braid it a little bit, and then I'm going to start to add the pieces that I want to stick out of the braids to create the boho braids. And for this back section, as you guys can see, I have 3 rows so far from her ears down, from the top of her ears down. And in these 3 rows in this back section, I only added in 3 pieces to each braid. So 3 pieces of the curly hair sticking out of each and every braid. So starting out in the back, I only have 3 pieces sticking out of each braid, but I am going to build on this to make sure that this look is nice and full. So the higher I go, the more pieces I will have in the braid sticking out. But once I get to the end there, I just grab a small section of the human hair and wrap it around the braid to create a knot. And then I do knot it in the same spot at least 3 times, and you're going to see some flyaways or blunt ends sticking out of the braid, and you can just use some scissors to carefully snip away those blunt ends. And as you guys can see, I do have 3 pieces sticking out of this braid, and then the ends are curly because I didn't braid it all the way to the end. I just left some room and then knotted it. So now as you guys can see, I'm a little bit higher up. I've done a couple more rows, and in this spot now, kind of towards the middle, I am now adding in 4. I'm still starting it as normal with starting with 5 pieces of the curly hair to just start the braid. And then as now I'm going down, I'm adding in 4 pieces of the curly hair that will be sticking out of this braid now instead of 3, because again, now as the higher up I'm going, I am going to stack these up a little bit more. So now there's 4 pieces that's sticking out of the braid. As far as my parting, I do have a separate video for how to part. I will link that here for anyone who is interested. Now for this parting, it is different than the video because these are actually small braids, but I'm still using the same parting, basically like guideline. And these braids are actually a little bit smaller than what I typically do because my small braids are typically 9 rows, and on her I ended up doing a total of 10 rows, so these are a little bit smaller than what I would typically do. And then my mediums would be 7 rows. I know we hear it all the time, everybody's sizing is different. Comment down below how you size your braids or how you determine the size of your braids. So like if you were to do 9 rows, do you consider that to be small braids or do you consider that to be medium sized braids? And then of course people base it off of the boxes as well as the braid. Like you can have a medium sized box but then small braids. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Okay, so now you guys can see, as I said, for these braids, the higher up I went, I started putting a little bit more. So now these ones have 4 pieces sticking out and then the curly ends. And then at the top, the very last couple of rows, I started leaving out 5 pieces for the boho look. For these last 2 rows, I started leaving that first curly piece out much sooner while I was actually even starting the braid. So as you can see, this second piece that I'm adding, I'm going to leave out a curly piece. Now I'm going to continue with adding in my 5 pieces. And the reason I'm adding so much even with this style is just because these are blunt ends and you want to make sure all 3 strands of your braid is thick enough to be able to continue to do a full braid, because you don't want one strand of your braid to only have like a very blunt end or a short piece. Then you won't be able to continue with your braid. So now once I have enough pieces added, I'm going to continue now with adding in more of the pieces that will be sticking out. So that is my second strand that is sticking out. And if you need to, if you find that some of your strands are just not thick enough, you can add another piece in to thicken it up a little bit more and continue with braiding. Sometimes when you pass the client's natural hair, you will need to add in more of the human hair to keep the braid thickness the same, because after you pass the client's natural hair, sometimes the braid thickness kind of slims down and you may not want it to slim down right away. So you may still need to add in a couple more, 1 or 2 more strands to thicken up the base of that braid. So now I have added in my 5 pieces, and once I get to the ends or towards the ends, now I knot it up at least 3 times to secure that. And that is basically how I did these last few rows, and then of course snipping away the blunt ends or the flyaway hairs. So now you guys can see the 5 strands. You're going to get a nice full look, and this is the final result. The hair is nice and full, very pretty. I love the curl pattern. I did not dip these in hot water. We chose to just leave it alone. The curls looked so bouncy and so beautiful, so luscious and shiny and full. It was just beautiful. Loved it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All the information for this hair will be down in the description below. Again, this is from Eayon Hair. Be sure to check out the links to get your own human hair bundles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you guys in my next video, and I hope you guys be blessed, stay protected, and stay filled with love and peace.